Hi guys! So I've just finished The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. This is a little bit of a close-up of it. She also has a follow-up book which I have also finished up, and it's called Spark Joy. If you can see that. They're both really good, and it's about the journey of going through all of your belongings and getting rid of anything that does not spark joy. So you will pick it up, and if it sparks joy, then it's a keeper, and if it doesn't, then you discard it, and you can either donate it or just throw it away if it's no longer any good to anybody. One thing that I just found at this point in my process that I would have liked to have had from the beginning is there's an app you can use on your iPhone, and it gives you the checklist. There's clothing, books, papers, kimono, and sentimental items are the five main categories. She recommends not going through by room, but instead going through by category. And so, for instance, papers, I click on that part of the app, and then when I scroll down, it asks you to take a before picture, and then it gives you sort of a date that you want to try to complete this round of tasks by. Because within paper, well, that's papers. Actually, let me start with clothing because that's the one you start with. So at papers, at clothing, you go down, you do your before picture, and then it says there's tops, bottoms, dresses, outerwear, socks and stockings, underwear, seasonal wear, bags, hats, belts, scarves, jewelry, shoes, other, and then take an after photo. So you're kind of getting your before, going through step by step to make sure you don't miss anything, and then your after photo. So the app is actually a really cool tool. I'm going to be using that during the rest of my KonMari method of tidying up. I did not use it for the first couple because I just found it, and I've already done clothing, books, and paper. So the books, she also has the different categories. You do your before photo, then there's general books, cookbooks, magazines, coffee table books, other, and then you take your after photo. And then papers, which this video is going to use my journey so far, going through clothing, books, and papers. And so, again, you take your before picture, then you do receipts and bills, warranties and manuals, insurance papers, clippings, business cards, notes, other, and take after photos. You want to try to go through everything and shred or recycle as much as you can so you have a minimal amount of paper left over at the end. That was my most difficult so far that I've done because I had papers everywhere in files and desks, and I had multiple file cabinets with similar files. I don't know why I thought one was more convenient to have here, but then I had another duplicate of that folder somewhere else, and so I had a lot of organizing and sort of challenges within the paper part. But now my next thing is going to be kimono, and that will be my next video, and then after that, sentimental items. So without further ado, we'll get started in the first half, which is clothing, books, and papers in this video. So just one more thing I wanted to mention is that not only do you go through by category, and you're supposed to pull everything out, so whether it's from your bedroom, your pantry, closet, pull it all out and put it on the floor and sort it from there where you have everything together, whether it's clothing, paper, etc. And the other thing is that you're supposed to set aside and put away sort of everything that you want to keep that sparks joy, and then discard right away everything that doesn't. So you don't want to have a bunch of piles of stuff that you're going to discard. Actually discard it, bring it where it's going, and stuff like that. And the other thing is, until you're really finished with the whole process, then you're supposed to actually go through and organize and find out where you have spaces to put certain things and put them away. So you might not reorganize your drawers the same way after you finish all of your other books, paperwork, photo albums, and all that stuff. You might actually find that you want to switch and move some stuff to a certain area and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily want to organize as you go. Afterwards, you want to just get everything discarded that you're discarding, and then start organizing and putting everything away pretty. I'm doing the KonMari method of cleaning up. This is my master closet. Originally, or whatever, immediately, I should say, met by the door of hats, some necklaces, my master's degree. These drawers aren't that bad, actually. Or what do you call them? Shelves aren't that bad. And then the chaos ensues. Boom, 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 boom. So hopefully by the time I'm done with this, I'm going to be able to really like get through this. So the problem is that some of this, like this stuff right here is dry cleaning, and some of these things are actually my husband's and not mine. This is what I have out so far, and I've got everything kind of folded, and I still have to go through and decide which things I'm keeping versus which things I'm not. And just without even touching it, I have got this small pile so far, but I'm sure that that will grow by the time I get through this whole thing. Okay, so the closet is empty and everything is out on the floor, and I've got things that have sparked joy in piles to put back away, and then I have other piles to go ahead and donate. So I am on day 3 of the KonMari decluttering, tidying up series, or whatever you want to call it. It's been a little bit harder than I expected it to be. I went through all my clothes on Monday and discarded a bunch of stuff, and then yesterday I finished discarding and folding, and today I also started the book section, and here's what I have. Okay, so these are what I have to donate so far. I'm hoping to add to that once my husband goes through his. There's these books that I'm keeping because I haven't read them yet and I'm interested in reading them. I'm partway through my Paris Dream by Kate Betts. Of course, I want to have a Dictionary Thesaurus on hand and my Bible. Then these are some travel books. We've been to some of these places, and Italy is big. I haven't been everywhere in Italy, and Spain I have only been to Barcelona and Mallorca, so we're still working on that. We have a Hong Kong trip coming up, and then these are my stack of cookbooks that I wanted to keep. My husband also had some cookbooks that we'll have to see if he still wants those. And then he has his reading and Bibles and a quote book and stuff like that. And then we also have these picture books, which I had a couple that I wanted to keep, and actually Prada's in this one. So maybe I'll show you. This is a cute little picture of Prada. And then she was in this little calendar also. So anyway, this is the other stack that my husband has of sort of photography collection books. There's a couple of them that I think he might want to keep, and maybe we can kind of actually phase in and out on the coffee table. So books is almost complete. I have way more than I thought that we were going to, and probably we're going to want to keep more than I had anticipated. So I might have to figure out a storage method, because you're supposed to put everything that's alike together. So ideally I would have like a bookshelf where all of my books would go. I'm not sure if that's going to be feasible. I know coming right out of the blocks I might have to just put my cookbooks back where they were. And in order to keep these together, I'm going to have to find a different solution for my books, because I had some in one closet, some in a desk, some in another closet, some in the kitchen, the cookbooks and stuff. So we'll see. I'll have to let you know what I come up with for a solution on the books. So we were able to get rid of some other books, and we have this that we want to keep. So we're going to have to figure out where to put them. I'm hopefully going to make them all fit on one shelf. Okay, so I'm on day 5 now, or no, wait, I'm sorry, day 4, and we've got all these books. I'm going to show you where I'm going to put them, and moving on, we're on to paper. I've got these books that I'm ready to go ahead and put up on these. These actually are empty, so those aren't going up, but from here over, these are all going to go in to this bookshelf over here, where it's empty. But right now this is those wire kind of shelves, so I would need to go to the Container Store and get those clear sheets to put on top. They have them in by the roll, and you can just cut them to your desired length. So I'm going to do that. So I've put some of the stuff back in, and I've tried to organize it and create a little bit more of a boutique-y look. The books are all on one shelf, and I was able to fold a lot of socks and reorganize that drawer, and also some of my t-shirts and some jeans and stuff like that. And then I've also got some tank tops, and I've used the folding method that you're supposed to. It's actually not quite done. You have to go through everything first and then go back, and once you have all of your stuff discarded throughout your whole house, I think then reorganize. Okay, so now I'm on the paper purge, and KonMari method is really hard because she wants you to wind up with 3 folders at the end, and I've got a lot more folders than that, so I'm going to show y'all what I have. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do this exactly the same way that she does, because I do have certain records that I need to keep and maintain for my health and my family's records and for our taxes, since we have to file maybe a little bit differently than some people. So anyway, I'm giving myself an extra file folder of stuff, but I have been weeding out and shredding. I've got pounds. I've already done 12 pounds of shredding, and we're doing a community shred fest here at the building on Saturday, and I'm going to have a lot more poundage to shred. So I am in the home stretch because I have to have this done by tomorrow, so I'm going to show you what I'm left with and then try to finish it up. So these are some of the papers I still have to go through. There's just a lot left, but it's actually pretty well, I'm in the home stretch. This is all the files that I'm going to keep. They have like dental and health and different things like that. This is a binder. They recommend doing something with anything that has action needed. I have some different things in here, like for instance, there's Christmas cards that I need to make sure that I have these addresses, and just different things like that. And then my health information that from this year, there's some in another tab for some different YouTube videos that I want to do. So this binder looks very thick right now, but as soon as I can get finished purging everything, then I'll go through and do the actions needed, and this should get a lot smaller, and it'll fit in the back of this. And then I have a couple of other folders in different areas. So this one here, these are mostly just empty folders and stuff like that. This here are things that were pertaining to the condo that I had before we got married, and so I just kept them separate in case we needed any of that information, so we don't have to search for it. And gosh, it's almost done though. You should have seen how much it was before. So then this here is a fireproof safe, and I have some of our different investment information, and there's another binder. She recommends that everything that is really important that you need to save forever, that you put in a binder and put in like these plastic type of things. So in here I have birth certificate, social security card, my global entry card, marriage certificate, the titles to the cars, and the title or deed to the house is in this weird size folder that wouldn't fit in a thing, so I have to figure out how I'm going to finish this part up, but at least this is the start of it. And I just wanted to point out, this huge container was filled with paper, and I was able to get rid of a lot of that. So now on to the next.